If just a bit of a disconnect there on my side of things, so apologies on that. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I have noticed that at the moment we have Armour on provisional pole with a 27.928 and Colin second with a 28.416. Most of the drivers have got their first laps in, which is good to see.
Colin's on play back out as well, back onto the track.
Yeah, and so we've got Chris Bailey, who's currently sat P6 in the Alpine 28.6. I'm sure he's got more in the locker at some point. Let's go down.
Said that lap before the stream restarted.
Yeah. So we'll go on board with who's furthest round the lap, who's not set a time. So we'll jump with Rassam, and we'll go on board around a lap of the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So heading down to turn 1, DRS open, third gear through turns 1 and 2, then steady on the power, don't want to lose the rear through 3, then head through turns 4 and then 5, and then 6 is right there, and then 7 straight after, then 8, 9 and 10, very quick directional changes, and they come at you very, very quickly. As we head
out the corner, they just come at you, don't they?
Yeah, as we're heading through the slight bank to turn 13, and then you got turns 14, 15, and then the braking for 16. Again, careful on the power through turn 17, and then it's flat out through turns 18, 19, 20, 21, before a slight bit of braking for turn 22. And then careful on the power as you enter turn 23, and then it's flat out through 24, through 25 and 26 before the final braking zone for the final corner of turn 27. Keeping it tight, don't want to lose the back end on exit, because a lot of slimmed out setups for some of the drivers, and Rassam goes P9 on that lap. So that was a lap of the Jeddah Corniche circuit, the fastest street circuit in Saudi Arabia, as GTS Drag King carries on where he left off yesterday in Tier 3 with a provisional pole time now of a 27.653. And I've got a glitch there where he's got completely no nose, so Adrian Newey testing a new aerodynamics on that Aston Martin, so bit of a new setup, the no nose aero package on Drag King's Aston Martin.
Just had a look watching Colin there, he was up on his lap time, but he had invalidated his lap, so I'm watching Baby Hornet now currently.
Yeah, we'll get Baby Hornet up on the stream. Took a
wee bit of a tow there from someone that might have been his teammate.
Yeah, his teammate in the fellow Williams is currently second at the moment. He was the pole sitter at the early stages of this. Armour now sits second after being dethroned by Drag King. So
up at the moment, Baby Hornet look like a purple second sector, it looks.
Yep, I think that's mainly in comparison to the drivers around him.
This could push him up into P3 if he gets this last corner right.
Yeah, it could. He could be on par with his teammate.
Certainly, it's a nice run as well.
Yeah.
No more battery left as well.
And it's a 3/10 improvement, so it's a Williams 2-3.
Fair play to him. Didn't think he had that in him. No, he's not going to like me saying that.
So we'll have a little check in. The bigger brother, done best, as he's in the second sector, currently sat P8 in the Racing Bull.
Just looking just in front of you there, Mr. Paul Skips in the Aston Martin, half a second up on his lap, sitting in P5 at the moment, so this he could tip Simon for P3 and he could possibly push for P2.
Yeah, we've just jumped to the Aston Martin as he came round the final corner, takes the shortest route to the line, and it's P2. It's an Aston Martin 1-2 with a Williams 3-4. The Mercedes-powered cars taking full command of this one.
You don't see that very often.
No, as we jump back to Dunbest, but he's on his way in.
Yeah.
One driver on a fast lap who is most likely going to improve is the Alpine of Chris Bailey, but the Williams just about got out of the way. Hopefully it didn't hamper the Alpine too much, but it's flat out now. Two cars just up the road, but hopefully they'll stay out of Chris's way as he's coming through the 27th and final corner.
He might get a bit of a tow from that.
That might be helpful. Yeah, the McLaren in front. Armour takes pole back. Chris goes P4, so Chris improves to a 28.073, but Armour takes pole position back with a 27.359.
What a lap, that's a statement or what?
Yeah, Armour taking pole position back from Drag King.
Yep, it's always a pleasure watching a fellow Northern Irishman.
Yeah, but one of the biggest threats always just invalidated at the end of Sector 1. Yep, Saviour, who's still yet to get a time on the board, just invalidated. Time running out for, I believe, is the championship leader, I believe at the moment, is Saviour. I can't confirm that because we haven't had the updated drivers or constructors standings yet from last week's race. But I believe
from last week, yes, you're right. It was
yeah. So
from Brazil, he was leading.
Yeah, so he's as of this moment championship leader. I think he still is after Brazil, but we can't confirm that until we get the results, which sadly we may not have for this race. The Saviour goes. Saviour's gone in because of the invalidation. Just jumped to Colin, who had a moment. Oh, Drag King's now just disconnected.
That is not what you want to see.
No, especially with him.
Just watching Seb Miller, he's matched his time at the moment. He's level on his lap.
Yeah, so he jumped to the Mercedes.
At the moment. Nailed the first sector. He was out by, I think, 2/10 in the first sector and lost a wee bit through the second. He's going to take the wide berth.
Back end back end wanted to step out of turn 27, and I believe he's bailed because of that.
That must have really cut his time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That must have really cut his time a couple of tenths.
So let's have a little look at Smith in the Ferrari, try and give as many different drivers a bit of airtime during qualifying.
Yep.
Smith coming through Sector 2, not far from the delta point for heading into Sector 3, and he's a 10th up.
Last race I actually raced in Japan. Me and Smith had a nice tasty wee battle in Tier 3.
Yeah, he does tend to reserve from time to time, especially if tiers need it. Nice stable rear through 27, look quite planted. Let's see if he improves. He does, he goes up to P12, he's into the 28s with a 28.889. But that still keeps him behind his teammate of Sternberg, who's currently sat P10 at the moment.
Currently watching Mr. Kicksaber, Josh Boy, has just started up there. And
just jumped to
a wee bit of a traffic though, if you can see as well.
Yeah, one of those.
One of them.
Yeah, which is G-Star. Got a Ferrari there.
Never know it. It is a Smith.
So Smith's had a moment. Luckily, it's not on a time run. And luckily, he was ghosted as well, so it hasn't hampered everybody else.
Nope, not at all. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified.
No, he's... I believe his dot on the minimap's moving.
That's good.
Yep, he's on the move. Josh Boy.
7/10.
Yeah, nearly 7/10. It's 6/10 up, almost 7.
No, but that at the moment that'll push him into just behind Smith.
He's on for
nailed his last corner.
Yeah, big improvement coming.
Could be a top 10 if he gets it right.
Yeah, looks nice. Nice and stable through turn 27. He goes to the line, and it's a half a second improvement.
He lost a bit of time there in the last sector.
I think he lost about a tenth or so, near enough, because he was nearly 7/10 up in sector 2, but then ended up dropping about a tenth, maybe less in that final sector, but it was still an improvement. Stays 14th.
Speaking of an improvement, Rassan has just jumped straight to P7.
Yeah, the Haas, who's got another glitched front, he's got no front at all again. So, not the tidiest of sessions, but we have got the checker flag now. That is qualifying everyone on their last runs.
Chris Bailey's up at 10th at the moment through the second sector as he invalidates.
Yeah, we'll jump to Drag King's also invalidated as well. So we'll go with the current pole sitter of Armar as he's just going through the banking of turn 13. Although there is an Aston Martin further up the road of Polsky who's still on a flying lap. He is getting a bit of a distant tow from his teammate. Drag King not too close to put dirty air onto Polsky's car, but far enough away that he will still benefit from a tow. But he's backed out. He's bailed out of it.
Xavier puts a lap in.
Oh yeah, P5. Left it late.
Certainly did.
Polsky bailed on his lap. Armar to the line.
And that's going to be
27.332. That is pretty much pole for Armar then. Just two more drivers.
Rassam is still on his in lap, and Sternberg the same. So that's quality.
Rassam has took the flag. He's down, and
Sternberg corner now. 2 seconds on his lap time.
Yeah, missing. Lap time. Looks like he's missing a front wing as well.
So he is.
So yeah, that is qualifying. So Armar takes pole from GTS Drag King on that front row. But it is going to be a 2-on-1 handicap situation for Armar, with Drag King's teammate being directly behind Armar on that second row. Aston Martin taking second and third, so a solid qualifying for them. And we'll run through the grid once the full order is up for me to run through.
Not a bad quality for what we've seen, from what the stream's seen of it.
Yeah, apologies that we missed quite a chunk of the early starter qualifying. Hopefully things will stay smooth now and make up for it. But we'll run through the grid for the Tier 0 Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Armar takes pole position, Drag King second, Polsky third, then it is Colin, single track, Saviour, Chris Bailey, Baby Hornet, G-Star and Rassam rounds out the top 10. And then it is Dunbest Hornet, Sternberg, Lorpy, Smith, Josh Boy, Seb Mail and Maverick rounds off the 17 driver grid for this race. So now we're heading for a 5-minute break. Yeah, 5-minute break to allow drivers to think about strategy and do any pleasantries that they need to. Just a bit of a chill time before we go lights out. So in the meantime, just a bit of information on the Jeddah Corniche circuit in the city of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, we're running 50% race around here, so we'll be doing 25 laps. Obviously, the full race is 50 laps because you have to double it just to work that out. As I mentioned, 27 corners make up this anti-clockwise circuit, I believe the track is.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Just had to doubly make sure. The race distance that the 17 drivers will be taking tonight will be 154.225 miles. That is the full 50% race distance travel. The circuit itself is 3.836 miles, so not a short track layout.
No,
Martin Hills in the YouTube chat is saying he's got altitude sickness up here.
Right, where's he?
Why? Where are you compared to everybody else?
Where have you cycled to this time?
That's a good question. Where does he cycle to is the question. Most of the time, nobody knows. Yeah, very first race here at Jeddah was just I believe just after the pandemic on the 5th of December. That's what he means by he's got altitude. He's not used to qualifying that high up. Behind the very first round here at Jeddah, because obviously we had the brake check incident between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, which happened, I believe, between turns 25 and 26. So it was towards the end of the lap. But also,
wasn't that the start finish straight?
No, I believe it was the curve in before the start finish straight. So I believe it was around turn 25, 26, around that area. But we also had what could have been the perfect laps if Max Verstappen didn't end up in the wall out of turn 27 that year as well. Would have been a phenomenal lap. I still remember. I think Alonso was doing a press interview during that lap, and he was watching it on the screen, and all the faces he was pulling because of how close Max was getting to those walls, especially on that particular lap. And to be honest, you have to be very, very, very risky because you have to get as close as you can to the walls for the optimal lines, which can also have consequences because we've had a few crashes here as well. Obviously, Mick Schumacher having a hefty shunt himself back in 2022, which I believe was at around about turn... it was in the middle sector. There's that many corners and they almost look the same. I'm struggling to work out which corner it probably was. I believe it was probably turn 17, I think it was, something around there, because it was quite a hefty whack for the Haas driver, and with the walls as close as they are and the speeds that they do around here, it is quite a hazard. And I'm not afraid to say it, but safety cars are not uncommon here. They're quite common with obviously street circuits in general. But Armar takes them on their parade lap, and we'll have a look at what tyres everyone is starting on.
You're right, by the way. It was the what I got mixed up was the original incident where Max forced Lewis wide at turn 1.
Yeah.
Which caused him to give the position back.
Yeah, and he did the same thing a few years later with Oscar Piastri as well, into where he ended up cutting the corner into turn 2, I believe it was. So yeah, he's done that at least twice. But yeah, Armar starting on the hard tyre, as well as Colin in P4 and Maverick also taking the hards down in 17th. Everybody else has gone mediums, so they're looking at the medium hard route, the one stop.
Yeah. I'm not really hoping to go a long race.
He'll be there. You see the strategy format. You're looking about lap 11 to 13 for the medium runners. Obviously, slightly longer for the likes of Armar, Colin, and Maverick, who are starting on the hards. Most drivers would prefer the undercut, but with the one stop around here, but obviously as the fuel drops off and the car gets lighter, the amount of tyre deg slowly goes off, so it'll be a lot easier on the tyres. So
yeah, plus with safety cars as well, as you said.
They're not. I mean, we had, I think it were 2 yesterday in Tier 3. I know we had one in Tier 2 at the start of the week as well. So we've had plenty of safety cars throughout this week. Which those on the mediums wouldn't mind an early-ish safety car, but if a safety car comes out relatively early, about lap 8 to lap 9, it will probably jeopardise the hard runners, and it will probably put some of the medium runners onto a 2-stop unless they can really nurse their hard tyres to the end as we wait for the 5 red lights. Here we go for the final time this week. Tier 0, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And Tier 0 is go, go, go. It's a great start by the front 2, and it's Aston Martin side by side going into turn 1 and 2. Polsky on the inside, dragging on the outside, but it's the opposite way around for turn 3. The Aston Martin still side by side, but Polsky gets the position.
Contact in the midfield.
Oh yeah, Saviour plummeting
Major
down.
Contact in the midfield. Smith as well has lost loads, as has Seb Mayo.
Saviour Seb Mayo. There's a bit more contact as well, because Lorpe's now gone. Plenty of carbon fibre.
Sternberg has run off the track there.
There's a few cars missing
there. Saviour had been hit going into turn 2, and that took him round. And I didn't even see what happened. All I seen was I didn't even know what type of car it was, just going sideways through turn 2 and 3.
And as we know, on lap 1s, especially in the midfield, it gets a bit congested, especially in tight corners, but there'll be a few drivers going in for repairs, because I noticed there's a few cars with damages to the front. But Armar, with a phenomenal start on the hard tyres, retains the lead. Polsky jumped his teammate towards turn 4, so it's Polsky ahead of Drag King. Colin holds P4 still on the hard tyre, so both the hard tyre runners, both Armar and Colin, having solid starts. Single Track has held P5 off the start. We'll take the tyres away and have a quick look at the gains. Yep, Polsky's
going in.
Yeah, there's 3 drivers in. I believe Lorpe will follow as well once he gets there. Yep, he's in as well. So the biggest losers, apart from, is obviously Saviour, because he's dropped 10 places. He started, well, he's 11th now, but 17th, and he's lost plenty of places. The biggest gainer on the opening lap is Seb Mayo in the Mercedes. He's up 5 places from his starting position, as Single Track's just gained a position.
I missed that.
Yeah, Single Track is now ahead of Colin for P4.
Must have been a bit of a mistake from Colin's part, because he's dropped to a second behind him.
Yeah, it takes, I believe, 1 or 2 laps for the hard tyres to switch on. Obviously, under the night and the lights.
It's maybe nighttime, but it's still very warm in the Middle East, even in the night.
Yeah.
It can be quite warm in the Middle East.
Just
Saudi
go
been
back and watch the Qatar race from a few years ago. Some of the drivers really struggling physically after that one.
That's right. It's the same as most Singapore races as well.
Yeah.
It's very physically demanding.
Yeah. Very humid, especially in their climate.
Losing about 4 kilos of weight during a race from what drivers have said in the past.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it certainly is.
Yeah, it would be.
But Armar keeping a firm hand out front, the two Aston Martins keeping him in visual vicinity.
Drag King keeping within the DRS of his teammate as well. 310 separating them two. Looking down from the field as well.
And single track's not too far back. He's just out of a second, but he's not too far back from them.
With behind him though, at the same time, I'm looking at a few different. Yeah.
Oh, yellow flag. What's happened now? I think Smith's had a moment.
Lost it. Yep, Smith's going round.
Yep.
No wing loss.
No wing, so he's kept it out the wall, but something unsettled the Ferrari at turn 14. Sorry, 13. The banking. He's very easy for the rear to go light through there, especially early stages. But
certainly is, just looking, it's a wee bit of a DRS train at the moment from basically Drag King the whole way down.
Yeah, you got
third to eighth.
As the Aston Martins as Drag King. Chris Bailey sets the fastest lap, 31.734, as he's going to make a move on the inside of Colin, but Colin defends.
Is he going to hold it? He's holding it to the outside of him, going to move to the inside for turn 2.
Space given, and Chris safely backs out before turn 4 because of how tight and narrow it is and the way turn 4 is. And then it's I believe that's that single track that's had a moment through turns 5 and 6 going off track. Obviously probably carrying a bit too much speed or something unsettled the Mercedes through those particular corners, but Armar is now 2 seconds up the road and Drag King is pulling away from his teammates. Sapolsky falling back from Drag King.
Ooh.
What have you spotted?
Just down in the midfield, Chris Bailey had a wee bit of a twitchy moment there in the start of sector 2, or in the middle of sector 2 there. Kept it out of the wall, but it was a wee bit of a shake more than anything. But as well, Colin now with single track with the RS open has got the position there. Brilliant move from him.
Swoops around the outside of the Mercedes, but single track will have DRS down towards turn 1. The medium tyres, I believe, will start to drop off around about now. They'll start probably tampering with their brake bias.
Chris Bailey.
Yep. To the inside of single track. Oh, that's tight. Single track tight.
That's really close.
It's still side by side. Will Chris back out? Oh, we've got a Haas round behind, which is Rassam. He's had a moment.
Single track ran off track and stayed ahead, so he might have to give that position to Chris, which he does.
Yeah, he's done so.
Good racing from him.
Yeah. Oh, Polsky's back ahead of Drag King in the meantime. But all this battling is allowing Armar to pull away. And with being on those hard tyres, he will be liking to see this because he can pull away and just manage the tyres and probably... Obviously, he'll have the mediums for the last stint, so he'll have the quicker tyre and a lighter car. So it is looking good for...
Certainly no communication between the two Aston Martin drivers.
There's definitely been allowed saying you can race, you are racing in the Aston Martin garages. They have the Red Bull of Colin up behind them.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on that there. He's just biding his time. He is closing in on them two Aston Martins.
Let's drop a bit further back to see what the other drivers are doing. Smith and Rassam just staying out the way of Smith because he's carrying damage. Is the Haas.
Draking had a little bit of a look, by the way, there at Paul Skips into turn 1, but he's going to think better of it. But he got a lot better traction out of turn 1. But he's still going to stick behind him.
Yeah, it's pretty much single file. Yeah. Single file now through here.
Practically the worst part of the track to overtake. Not that there is many overtaking opportunities at this circuit.
No, and it may. Yes, we've got three DRS zones. They're all separate, I believe.
They're all pretty short as well, though.
For saying how flat it is. Oh, I think that's a Ferrari of Smith's. Let's just have a look what's happened. Baby Hornets retired in the pit lane.
It's a pit lane retirement, okay.
So we're down to 16. We'll jump back to the battle for second, third and fourth, which is Polsky, Drag King and Colin. Obviously Colin...
going to have a bit of a move. It's going to go three
is he going to take both of them? Yes, there's contact between the Astons. Drag King goes into the back of Polsky as Colin takes both of them towards turn 27. There is damage on the second Aston Martin.
Polsky is going to get him back. Is he going to get overtaken by both of them into turn 1? No.
No, he's just holds off Drag King. A single track gets Chris, but goes deep into turn 1 and ends up falling back behind. So that move was futile. Went a bit deep. Chris sneaks back through. But Drag King's carrying damage at the front of that Aston Martin after he ran into the back of his teammate as Colin swooped down the inside of both of them into turn 27. Obviously Colin is on the more favourable tyre because those mediums will be feeling
slowly dying off now.
Yeah, and you can tell it's paying off because Armar is really opening up the gap as well. 7.4 seconds. He's all on his own. He's got no one to worry about. Sternberg 3 seconds. First one of the evening.
Yep, indeed.
As the other Ferrari's just gone into pits for a new front wing.
Yep, it was a wee spin. I think it was a turn. It's hard to tell the corner numbers in this circuit.
Yeah, there's 27 of them, and they all look very similar.
Yeah.
So it's
some of them aren't even corners.
Yeah. All the corners all the turns look very similar, so it's very easy to lose where you are about some track. But Drag King's in. That'll be for a new front as well. He'll be going for a set of hard tyres on lap 28. Lap 8, sorry, not 28. What am I on about?
We're not in the full race this week.
Yeah. Ooh, that would have flown by. But yeah, it's definitely
his time. The track drivers seem to have settled down now into the rhythm.
Yeah, and there's packs very spread out as well, apart from
the battle for second.
About the top 6 within close of each other. But race leader Armar all on his own as Josh Boy joins Sternberg on the 3 second club, as he picks up 3 seconds for track limit warnings. But the battle for second is definitely in Colin's favour with being on those hard tyres. They're going to be in a lot more better shape than Polsky's mediums. So let's see what the Red Bull can do as we head in towards the final section of the lap. DRS open. As we head through 25 and 26, he's hooked up right behind the Aston Martin, goes to the inside, and it's a clean move into 27 for the Red Bull again. The Aston Martin getting skittish on the exit. Those mediums are feeling the effect. Polsky will have DRS down to turn 1, but he's not close enough to have a sniff into Colin at turn 1. goes deep, and I believe that will be a warning because he did cut the corner slightly, going too deep into turn 1.
And that's going to bring Chris Bailey into the mix for podium. This is between him and Single Track. With him going deep, that brought them within the RS range.
Yeah, Chris Bailey and Single Track, to be aware of them, both of them having quiet races, taking positions of people pitting and stuff.
Another silent assassins more than anything though.
Same with G-Star. He's having a tidy, quiet, clean race, sitting behind Single Track.
Haven't realised him at all.
Yeah, he's been that quiet and plucking away the laps, and we've hardly known he's there. But he is.
As well, so.
I believe Single Track was just outside the second of Chris, so he's not got DRS.
G-Star has knocked DRS off Single Track through that part, but he's still dropped back a bit.
Yeah, he's just about on the buffer, but Chris is dropping Single Track, and he's on the back of Polsky. Colin has dropped the Aston Martin on this lap by nearly 2 seconds. That's the difference in tyre.
Yeah, but look at the gap between himself and Armara.
Yeah, it's 9 points. Nearly. There's Chris down the inside of the Aston Martin. Polsky gives room.
Oh, he wanted to take that inside back, but there was just no space there at all.
No, Chris shut the door, stopped him from doing so, and that is Chris up to P3 as Drag King. With a new front wing and fresh tyres, sets a 31.359 as he's on his fight back.
Currently 6 seconds behind Thomas Hornet on 7 lap fresher tyres, and obviously on the faster on a different compound as well. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. It's now 5 seconds, so he's flying at the moment. Thomas Hornet must have had it.
Yeah, he's bringing that down.
Oh. Just as I say that, he kisses the wall at I think it's turn 8. But he's alright, there's no ring damage. No damage on that Racing Bull, and yet again Dunbus Hornet, another one who's having a nice quiet race. I was on about Drag King, sorry. Oh, Drag King, yeah, that's how much he's pushing though, because he's having to make up the time he's lost, because he probably ended up pitting earlier than he would have wanted because of going into the back of his teammate. He went a lap with damage, but obviously he felt like he needed to pit and needed to, so he may be able to take the hards to the end, but he may end up having to resort to a 2-stop. We'll see how he gets on, but he is closing that gap down to... Then goes G-Star and... Oh, Chris is in as well. Single Track G-Star, 4th, 5th and 6th all in, following each other. So I'm going to keep an eye then on GTS, because he's coming around the last corner now with Emmons into the pits. Yeah, Dunbus Hornet in as well. See if anyone can come out in front of him. It doesn't look like he's going to be ahead of everyone. Yeah, so he's got loads of clean air. He's got 16 seconds to his teammate, who is still yet to pit, as Polsky is 3.4 seconds off of Colin, who is 10.6 behind Armar. Armar just having what can only be described as a Sunday drive at the moment. He's had seems like it. No competition from anyone at all, but it can all change. We know anything happens in racing, so it can all change at a blink of an eye. So we have actually since it's obviously the pit stop window, keeping an eye just on the gap between GTS Drag King and Armagh Red at the moment. It's currently 29.1 that's the gap between the first and fourth. Yeah, it is. I just want to keep an eye on that. I just want to keep an eye on that to see if GTS is closing in on Armagh Red. We've just got that. Tires. Yeah, just got up as well, and as you say, it's 29. It's just dropped under 28, so that is slowly coming down. I'm going to keep an eye on that while the race continues on. Coming towards the halfway point of... Oh, Polsky's in. He'll be going to the hard tyre. Polsky's coming at round about the point that you would for a 1-stop, so he is settled on the 1-stop. It'll be hards to the end for Polsky. Obviously, he will drop behind his teammate. Chris Bailey will leapfrog Polsky as well. That's a nice
So
wee,
does... Oh,
nice wee,
G-Star going... Oh, it's going to be...
Oh,
Oh,
contact!
oh, that's unfortunate for single
Martin's
track.
gone. Single tracks around.
Yep. A bit of an
Don't think there
unfortunate
could be-
moment
Yeah, don't
as
think much
we
could be
had...
done there.
Yeah, we had G-Star going for a move on the inside, and then obviously we had Polsky coming out of the pits at the same time, so it was kind of like a meeting of the minds, and poor old single track was stuck in the...
Go into two there.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing, because might see that in the stewards, we don't know, but probably an unfortunate circumstance with G-Star going for a move on the inside, and obviously Polsky coming out of the pits on the outside, and the way the racing line goes with those coming out of the pits, it does almost pretty much meet in the middle.
Yeah, 100%. Just looking as well, Jack King has got a second this lap on Armagh Red, so he is slowly closing that gap.
Yeah, he's...
Plus obviously Armagh Red still the box. I don't know if Drag King will box again. He might maybe for a bit of set of softs towards the end, but
he might try and drag those... Yeah, he'll probably try and drag those hards out, especially with Chris Bailey only 1.8 behind him, who was just pitted as well, and
yeah,
he'll be going to the end himself. He pitted on lap 11, I believe it was, because it was a lap before Polsky, and obviously Polsky getting undercut by Chris Bailey, but was just able to hold off, came out the pits at level pegging with G-Star and single track, which led to the unfortunate spin of single track. Let's have a little look at Saviour, who's had a look on the outside into turn 1 on his fight back after getting damage on lap 1. He's up to P11 after making his stop onto the hards. But he's got 5 seconds to Josh Boy, who is carrying 3 seconds.
Nearly 2 seconds gain now this lap alone on GTS, by the way. So I think Armagh Red slowly, the tyres are starting to go off.
Yeah, it's...
and Drag Kings at the same time, obviously 5 laps in will be optimal.
Yeah, his will be fully working, whereas Armagh's will be coming to the end of his life, as we're focusing on the battle between 5th and 6th, which is Polsky in the Aston Martin and G-Star in the Sauber. Polsky, Polsky pitted 1 lap after G-Star, so there's going to be a 1 lap difference between the Aston Martin and the Sauber. And Polsky just breaking the 1 second, but G-Star able to get it back in.
G-Star did have DRS there as well.
Yeah.
Before the what's it called? Oh, G-Star's around wide there.
Let's have a little look.
Could be a warning.
Yep. Saviour sets the fastest lap, 30.6. So Saviour on his fight back.
It's now 25 seconds, by the way, between between Armagh Red and G-Stars or GTS. So
yeah, he's brought the gap down to. Yeah, he's brought the gap down to Colin to 12.5. So he's also in the. He's definitely in the pit stop window of the Red Bull, but he may just get within the pit stop window for Armagh's Williams.
Certainly. Well, speaking of.
Oh yeah, he's pitted.
So I'm going to keep an eye on G-Star or GTS to see how close this is.
Colin continues, so Colin will take the lead at this moment in time. So he's going longer than Armagh on the hard tyre.
GTS at the last corner now.
Yeah. I think Armagh's going to come out just ahead. Yes, he is. And he's on medium tyres as well, so he's on the quicker tyre. So Armagh will retake the lead once Colin pits, because obviously Colin's still yet to.
Yeah, I think that's turned into a bit of a domino effect for Armagh Red. I think he picked the perfect time to box.
Yeah,
because as I say, his tyres would have been dying off while GTS was really closing in on that gap.
yeah,
So I think Armagh was
and
just thinking in his head, thinking that
yeah,
it had to be the best time.
He would have been watching the gap. Oh, Rassam speeding in pit lane, didn't quite get it stopped for the entry. But yeah, Armagh would have been watching the gap to Drag King at the time as well, because
Yeah.
what he would have wanted is what he's got. He's come out and he's in clean air as well, so he's got no one in front of him. He's got no one behind him. He's closing the gap down to Colin because Colin's still on the hard tyres he started on. Colin, I think, will definitely fall behind Drag King, but at the moment he will fall behind Chris Bailey as well, because Chris is only 1.5 seconds off of Drag King as Colin is in. He's going to drop behind.
He'll end up dropping behind G-Star, you know?
Yeah, he could be coming out in P6.
G-Star,
medium tyres on the Red Bull. Will jump to G-Star, who's...
Yeah, he's going to jump him.
Yep, Colin's going to be coming out in P6. So he's got plenty of cars to try and overtake now. He's going to be on the quicker tyre, but catching and overtaking are two different... Yeah, it's two different kettles of fish.
Certainly.
But
just currently looking, Chris Bailey has closed that gap to a second and of G-Star, of GTS even. I keep mixing them two up. But and that Armagh Red's now started to disappear again. He's gained about half a second in that lap.
Yeah, he's got GTS. Clean air and he's got the quicker tyre on. And Chris Bailey, even though him and Drag King are on the same tyre, Chris's is going to be a lot fresher than the Aston Martin, because obviously Drag King pitted on lap 8. Because as I said, yeah, I believe he may have just got away with that if he lifted off enough. You have to be very careful. As long as you lift off enough and the game thinks it's feasible, you can get away with it. But he's right on the back. Yeah, right on the back of the Aston Martin as we come through turn 27. He's a little bit too far back to make a move into turn 1. Good evening, Mark Hodgson in the YouTube. Lorpy has joined the 3 Second Club with Sternberg and Josh Boy.
Wee bit of a twitch from Chris Bailey there as well. He is really pushing to try and close in on GTS.
The dirty air off of Drag King won't help
either. Yeah.
And with street circuits, because the walls are very, very close, it can also slightly overheat the tyres as well if you're not careful following a car, because all the air is... Yeah, there's that much. All the air is like pushed together because of the walls. There's not much space for it to disperse. So the dirty air can definitely hamper the cars around here, especially with the high-speed nature of some of these corners as well. But he's staying.
You think you're flat out for what, 60 or 70% of the lap?
Yeah, something about that. Not quite as flat out as you probably are for a lap at Monza. True. But it definitely feels, for saying it's a street track and there's a lot of corners, it definitely does feel like the laps tick by very quickly, a bit like Monza, because there's that very little braking zones. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. That's Josh Boy at the exit of turn 13. Is there any damage on the Sauber? No, there's no damage on the Sauber, so that is lucky for him.
He's going to get a move on G-Star as well for P5.
Yeah, Red Bull. Red Bull jumps ahead. Yeah, jumps ahead of the Sauber. His next target is Polski, and that'll be for P4. But
he's closing that gap down. He's closing it. I'm going to throw it out there. As a bit of a hot take, he could be on for a podium.
It depends on what Drag King does, because obviously Drag King will want to try and stay out to the end. And
even with that, I think but even with that, he's 1.5 behind Paul Skips at the moment, with Paul Skips being 2.5 behind Chris.
Yeah,
So
and
that's what,
obviously
maybe 4
Polski's got
seconds.
Polski's got
Because he's-
fresher tyres than Chris. Colin obviously got the freshest tyres out of the lot of them and the quickest. But Drag King using his battery smartly, like he did yesterday in Tier 3, keeping the much quicker Alpine of Chris Bailey at this moment.
Chris Bailey reeled in a wee bit of lift and coast at the same time.
Yeah.
He's underfueled his car for this race.
Yeah, he's probably feeling the effect of the dirty air as well, coming off of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, because look at that, look at the amount of
He had
lifting he's doing.
a bit of a moment under braking, and again,
Yep.
he's really
Tyres
pushing.
immediately
He wants that podium, and he knows that Polsky and Colin are closing down, as Colin is within a second now of Polsky, but he's not close enough into turn 1. So the Red Bull.
I think Colin could be on for maybe a P3 finish. Because if he gets pole skips maybe this lap, that'll give him time to push towards Chris Bailey, and if he's fighting G-Star or GTS for this long.
If he does catch up to Chris, Chris will be in a rock and a hard place, because obviously Chris will be wanting to attack Drag King, but at the same time he'll need to defend from the Red Bull, so
yeah,
which may favour Drag King at that point, but that's whenever Colin gets there. He's got to get past Polsky first before he can do that, and we'll stick with him through sector 2. I think Colin's just going to have to wait until probably the run down to turn 27, or even down to turn 1, as long as he keeps it as close as he can to the Aston Martin as they come through turns 24.
Which he does. He's going to get him here within the
He's got a much better run.
Look at that.
He's already took Polsky.
Even before DRS was enabled, he had him. What an exit from Colin there.
So I think Polsky had a bit of a moment, or he's just he's probably let the Red Bull go and thought, I'm going to get DRS off him and he's going to pull me along. So probably a bit of clever thinking from Polsky, but now he's got to try and keep with the rapid Red Bull, as Colin now will look to close down the gap to third place, Chris Bailey. So as you say, yeah, he's definitely on the cards for a podium for Red Bull.
Currently looking down in the midfield at the moment. There's a bit of a fight for P10 at the moment between Seb Mail and the Mercedes and Josh Boy.
Yeah, Rassam's picked up 3 seconds to go with the 10 that he got for speeding in the pit lane, so he's on 13. But yeah, we've got battle for 10th and 11th, Josh Boy and Seb Mail, but Josh Boy pits. I wonder if he's going to be putting a set of softs on pitting this late into the race. Let's just see what the Sauber does.
While you do that, I'm going to keep an eye on the front, because straight away Colin has now gained. There's now within DRS of.
Oh, it's brand new mediums for the Sauber, so Josh Boy's gone 2-stop.
Now a 4-way battle for P2.
Yeah, because Colin's now on the back of Chris Bailey. You can see it here now. Drag King, Aston Martin, Chris Bailey, Alpine, Colin, Red Bull, and Polsky, Aston Martin, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Chris will be feeling the pressure now, because he'll obviously want to get Drag King, but he knows how quickly Colin is going because of on those medium tyres. But he's having a look into turn 1, but he's not able to have a look. He shaped up a move to get Drag King guessing, but it's very, very smart deployment from Drag King. He did this in Tier 3. Evening, Calvin. Calvin's popped up in the YouTube.
Yep. How you doing, Calvin?
Recently came back to MRC after some time away. Straight back into a Tier 1 seat, I've noticed. He's in the McLaren, and his first race back will be next week in Miami.
Miami, yep, certainly is. Chris is still slowly taking different lines to GTS, just trying to throw him off, it seems. As we know, Chris obviously. Yeah, but he's got
to have two eyes in his head now. He's got to have them front and back, because he's really coming under pressure from the Red Bull. Obviously, Colin's going to be the much quicker of the 4 with being on the medium tyres.
Look at how close they both are with the RS. Colin
Yeah.
seems to have backed off.
Polski's Polski may be playing a little bit safe here, creating a bit of a gap. Because of in case there's like contact. Oh, Chris Bailey going for a move around the outside.
He's going to back off.
Sensby backs out. He's going to try and get a better exit to try and make the move down towards turn 1. He'll be using everything, but Drag King as well will be using all of his battery to hold on. Inside for the Alpine. And it is third. It is second, is it? Drag King on the inside. Collins there as well. He's poking his nose in to try and get... Chris gets second. Drag King down to third. Collins smells blood. But now, because Chris has got clean air, can he drop the Aston? That's the question. Can he drop the Aston now?
Mark Hodgson's taking the mick out of you in the YouTube chat.
Very funny. Yeah. But yeah, that's Chris up into second place as Collins really all over the diffuser of the Aston Martin.
He is, he's nearly pushing him around the lap.
Yeah, and Polski's there as well. Polski's decided to claw himself back in.
Hodgie, much rum have you had tonight?
Quite a lot from what I can see. As
again, Collins taking the Collins backing off.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Drag King's at a moment.
Yep. Oh, Drag King's going to really try and close the gap, but he's going to have to leave him the space.
Yeah.
Collins going to get him.
That's Colin up to third. But that's going to... Yeah, that's going to put Chris under pressure going into turn 1 because he's got a Red Bull with fresh mediums.
Zero. I highly doubt
that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
And very rare. That is a rare thing there.
Colin, a wee bit of a twitchy moment with his braking, a bit of a lock-up getting into turn 1.
Let's hope the Aston Martins don't repeat what happened earlier on because they had a lack of communication and Drag King ended up going to the back of Polski. If they're not careful, it could be the roles reversed this time around because obviously Drag King ahead of Polski. This is the only battle on track. Everybody else is quite spread out.
Yeah, and
we haven't mentioned him much. We have mentioned him a few times, but Armand Red, 18 seconds out in front. He's had nothing to worry about all race.
No, not at all. He's been loving life in that Williams.
I think that could be his car next season if he's doing this well in it. But Chris will be needing to use his battery smartly as Drag King was doing lap after lap to keep him behind, and now he's got to do it to keep the Red Bull behind. But those mediums will gradually start to be dropping off soon, I believe, on Collins. So if he's gonna make up, oh, that's Drag King on at 27. Back end stepped out.
Twice in a row for him. Lost his wing as well.
Yeah, he was trying to stretch those halves to the end, but obviously the rear gave way, which has promoted Polski up to P4. So it's gone from a three-way battle to from a four-way to a three-way, a fatal four-way to a triple threat.
Yep, indeed.
But Polski, having a bit of moments. He was lucky not to Tony Hawk's the curb there because the bounce on the curb which unsettled it. As Saviour picks up 3 seconds, but he has got a 5-second gap to Dunbest Hornet, so he is looking safe for 7th place.
He's fairly close that gap as well on single track as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
so
but he'll be
comeback drive from him. But
he'll be frustrated though because the last thing you want to do is pick up a 3-second penalty, especially this late in the race, because he's done all that hard work on the fight back, and it's not gonna be possible for him to gap 3 seconds if he gets past single track. But we are on the final lap.
Colin going for it.
Yeah, we're having
Chris
a look.
Bailey, what Great defending
Yeah,
from
stuck
Chris.
the car in the middle of the track, so Colin had nowhere to go, but he's going to have to be careful down to turn 1 now. Both of them will be using all the battery they have left.
And you know what? Chris is doing alright with his though. Chris has got plenty left.
Sternberg 3 seconds. Chris
Chris has
defends.
gone deep.
Chris has gone deep.
Into turn 1. Colin is going to try switch back out of turn 1. Oh, bit of contact.
Chris gets away with that one.
Chris does well. Chris does brilliantly in defence again as we go on to the final lap.
Yeah. So we'll, in the meantime, while they're going through this, we'll jump to race leader Armar, who's coming through sector 2. He's got a couple back markers ahead of him, but it's
he
been.
gets to see some cars.
Yeah, it's about the closest he's been to anyone all race is the back markers, but yeah, it's been very, I would say, a very smooth operation for Armar in the Williams. As he's only got he's only got turns 26 and 27. So Armar will come round the final corner of turn 27 on lap 25. He took pole, he got the start he wanted, and he's lad every lap. It is a win for Armar, and Chris will hold on to second, will he?
Not just yet, not just yet. Don't be saying anything yet. He's going for it. Colin's still there. Oh, yeah, he's turned in too early, I think you're right, yeah.
Yep, Chris Bailey is going to hold on for second. Chris will be chuffed with that. Colin P3, Polski P4. G-Star will come home in a quiet P5. That is a very quiet, steady race for G-Star. Single track will come home ahead of Saviour. Saviour will stay 7th with the 3 seconds. Dunbest Hornet will be 8th in the Racing Bull. Drag King, an disappointing race for him, but he does take the fastest lap at the end. Unfortunately, you don't get points for the fastest lap.
That just proves how unlucky he was this race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
He had the pace for maybe a podium.
Yeah.
If not being able to stick with Armor.
I think
he just couldn't.
Yeah, I think he could have held on as well, at least for probably it would have been close between him and his teammate, because he was trying to take those halves to the end, and the last one to take the flags will be Sebmail Rassam, 10th, 11th, but Josh Boy takes 11th because of Rassam's penalties. Just Sternberg and Lorpe left to take the flag, and I believe it'll be Lorpe 13th and Sternberg 14th, because Sternberg has more penalties. Yep, the Red Bull jumps the Ferrari, and that wraps up the race week. That's Saudi Arabia all done. Tiers 2, 1, 3, 4, and now 0.
Yep, what a weekend.
Yeah,
some good races there.
Absolute domination by Armar. He was not challenged at all, and I bet you're chuffed to bits with seeing that flag
just about
smack bang in the middle.
It's great to see. It's great to see the Northern Irish flag at the top step.
He had to go and do a performance like this when you were on comms.
Exactly. I think he
did. You two script this or something?
No, that would be telling, wouldn't it?
But Armar takes. It was if Armar had took the fastest lap, which unfortunately he didn't, he would have had a Grand Slam. He missed out on a Grand Slam, but Armar wins. Fastest lap went to Drag King. Driver of the day in game was Seb Mail, also most overtakes, and cleanest driver was Armar as well. So we'll quickly go through the finishing order. This is provisional. Armar wins with Chris Bailey, then Colin, Polski, G-Star, single track, Saviour, Dummies Hornet, GTS, Seb Mail, Josh Boy, Rassam, Lorpe, Sternberg, Maverick, Smith, Baby Hornet was the only retirement when he retired in the pits earlier on. Some notable mentions. Saviour with a great fight back to get some decent points in his championship, but
now you're going to ask me for a driver of the day, aren't you?
Yeah, I am going to. Well, I think so. Who would you give your yours two before we end things up?
It's really hard to say because there's about 3 drivers I could name straight away that I could give a driver of the day to. Chris, obviously, for starting 7th, finishing 2nd, was great. Colin as well was he had a great fight back.
Xavier with his fight, G-Star quiet one.
He had a quiet race yet, but it's between 2nd and 3rd, and I think it's going to edge to Colin for that fight back. Yeah,
Colin went a little bit longer and was able to use the mediums to get that podium of 3rd. I mean, Chris did well to hold him off on the hard tyre, so yeah, he gets a notable nod. I mean, but the biggest applause at the end of the day has to go to Armar. He did everything he needed to do. He pitted at the right time, got clean air, and he was under no pressure whatsoever all race. But I think my main nods will go to Colin for the race he had, and definitely Xavier for the recovery. So I can't really decide myself, but that wraps up the race week in Saudi Arabia. We'll be back lights out again on Monday at 7 o'clock for Tier 2, but we will be going to the land of the United States of America for the Miami Grand Prix around the car park of the, I believe it's the Miami the Hard Rock Stadium car park.
Yep, Miami Dolphins, you're correct.
Yep, so we're going from one street track in the Middle East to a street track in the Americas, North America to be exact. So before we end things, I'd just like to say a thank you to you, Winky, for being alongside tonight. It's been a while since you've been paired up. Probably end up being paired up again. Fingers crossed. It'll be nice to go again with you.
Great indeed. Look forward to it.
So yeah, that's it from myself and Winky for this one. So stay tuned for when MRC goes live again on Monday at 7 o'clock for Tier 2 to get the Miami race week up and running. See you next week.
Good night.